What is your American dream?
My American dream. Wow. Piece of the pie. You know, definitely expanding our business, you know, corporation, you know, making it worldwide.
I've experienced so many stories of immigrants coming in, and I want to see everyone have the same opportunity to achieve their dream equally, no matter what demographic background they come from.
My American dream is I hope that one day we can actually live up to our pledge and have liberty and justice for everyone in America, because America is supposed to be the melting pot and the safe haven for immigrants that migrate over here.
My American dream is for people and animals to come together in unity and peace, honestly.
The whole idea of the American dream is that I have the ability and option to decide what I want my dream to be. And for me, that's what American dream is all about.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Groundhog Sam! Brad's monitor is now on. Cue the lights, please! Very good. Oh, hello everybody. Groundhog Sam here. Well, as you may remember, I have not made it to paralegal yet at Spar and Bernstein, so I decided to give myself another job title. I am now the official Bradshaw Live stage manager. You would think that's not really a job that anyone needs to do, considering Brad, Kim, and Yo-Yo really just sit at the desk. However, I feel it is important that we have a stage manager, so I've taken the responsibility on my own. So, camera 2 is ready to go. Oh, this is going to be epic. You guys, this means that I get to direct Brad. I get to boss him around. Do you know how fun it is when you get to boss your boss around? Ha 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 ha. Oh, this is going to be good. I could tell him, silence! Or I could say, Brad, go on 3, 2, you're live! Ha 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 ha. Man, I love this. I'm drunk with power, I tell ya. Now, before the show begins, real quick, did you guys miss yesterday's episode of Bradshaw Live? Well, in case you did, Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias went out on the streets for a new segment called Immigration 101. We tested people's knowledge of all the wonderful things that immigrants bring to America, including jobs for 8 million Americans who are employed by immigrant businesses. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Donald Trump. And now is the time you've all been waiting for. It's time for Bradshaw Live, starring Brad Bernstein with Belgium Kim and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias. All right, we're ready to go. Roll the intro. Ha 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 ha. I was born for production. Oh yeah.
You did hear us. Welcome. I heard Groundhog Sam going, I hear you! I hear you! Of course you hear us. We're throwing stuff all over the place here. Welcome, everybody. It's Tuesday, February 26th, which means it is right now Tuesday, February 26th.
Well done.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what it means. Back then, yesterday it was Monday, February 25th.
Yeah, it was not
But
Tuesday,
then
February
it
26th.
is not now.
Right.
Now is now.
Wow.
Yes.
Belgium Kim, Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias. Before I just make absolutely no sense, say hello and let me start the show again.
What's up,
after
y'all?
you say hello.
Hey,
Welcome,
hey.
everybody. Hey, how was your day today, man?
It was great.
Good?
It was great, yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Good.
Real chill. Went
Chill?
to the gym.
Uh-huh.
Same.
Oh, well,
same
I'm
old,
glad
same
you
old.
could go to the gym and stay in shape.
Let's go to
while
the gym
While
together.
some of us are busy being lawyers.
Let's go to
and
the
others
gym
are
together.
busy getting ready for a show.
Associate producing.
Yes. Jonathan just kind of saunters in at the last second. Oh, I was at the gym all day.
It is a saunter.
It is a saunter,
It truly
right?
is a saunter.
Yeah. Who do you
He's
think?
sorry.
Who do you think is at? You think Marge Higgs is at the gym all day?
I'm sure.
I am sure of it.
Grandma
She
is
has-
vegan.
right.
She is.
She
That's
is.
how you
Yes.
keep the glamour name.
That's right. You
That's
don't
how
be
you
right.
glow.
You don't become glam ma for no reason.
100%.
Right. It's work.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's work. So hello, Glam Ma. Latoya Peterson says, "Hey, how are you?" Ramona Hazel, how are you? Jessica Kalimi says, "Squad up, loves." Dion Watson, Deisha Good, and Carol Anderson, the Tiger, Reginald, Pauline. Who else is here? I'm now on first names with people. Tamika.
Right.
Of course.
Right.
Look at you.
Reginald. I mean, everyone knows who they are. Marsha, never give it up. Reed Powell. But if you have an interesting name like that, I got to go through the whole name,
You've
right?
got to, absolutely.
Yes. Nadisha, what's going on? Dawn Harriet. Who else here? Jody Ann White says, "Squad up, everybody." Lisa Bling Rose, "Squad up." Tamika with a red rose.
Oh,
I like that.
Very nice.
I like that.
Ifiawana Muhammad Al-Kurdi. Oh, he has an acronym for Brad.
Does he?
Yes, he has a Brad acronym.
What
What
is
is
it?
The B, blessing in his humanity.
Ooh.
Oh,
The R,
man.
reflection of the humanity meaning.
Whoa.
The A, the address of humanity. The D, the dictionary of the humanity. Brad is in fact the king of humanity.
Wow.
I'm going to tell you something, Muhammad. It doesn't get any better than that.
Wow.
Who is
Brad
Muhammad?
Humanity.
The
I'm
jig
gonna
is
call
up,
you
Brad.
that.
Who is Muhammad
Right.
to you?
I don't know. No, I am not Muhammad.
No. Who did you enlist?
Right.
There was no enlisting. There's no enlisting.
Are you writing this at night?
I am the blessing, reflection, address, and dictionary
Of humanity.
Of humanity.
Humanity.
Of humanity.
King Humanity.
The king of humanity.
Quite the responsibility you've got.
I'm going to
there,
tell you
Brad.
something. If anybody can handle that responsibility, it would be me.
It would be you.
It
That's
would be
actually
me,
true.
yes.
That's very true.
Cordella Douglas. Who else? Lavandi Tucker. I'm going to tell you something. Every day, my ego gets bigger and bigger from this show, right?
Yeah, I
Right.
can't blame you, honestly. Like,
If you ever feel down, let's just do a pop-up.
Just do a pop-up show, exactly. Shane Murray, how are you? Judith God, favorite child. Who's Judith God, favorite child?
Judith, God, favorite child.
Says, hi, team. Thank you, Judith God, favorite child. How are you? And Tamika seconds that. Brad is the king of humanity.
Yeah, I gotta be real. Carol, the Top Cat Tigress 2 Anderson over on YouTube said, "You are the king, Brad."
Well, that about does it for me today. Thank you all. We'll see you tomorrow. I don't really need to hear anymore now. And on YouTube, somebody by the name of Kimberly Moore said, "Squad up."
What? She's the best. We love her.
Nah, never heard
She's
of her.
so cool. Man, I wish I were her
Coolest.
friend.
Coolest.
Yeah.
How do I become friends with her?
Oh, you can't, Brad. You
It's
can't.
too hard.
It's just
It's
so
too damn hard.
You're not rich enough.
What?
You're not rich
I am
enough.
not rich enough. I am not. I'm neither rich enough, cool enough,
Right.
or what's the third one?
I don't know what the third one is.
I don't know.
But I bet it's
But whatever it is, you're not enough
You've
of
got
it.
to have a referral from another friend. You know
yes.
what I'm saying? It's a program like Soho House.
Yeah, I see
There's
that.
an application.
Right. No wonder I'm not in it. Right.
Right.
All right. Jean Love, how are you? Arlene Lucis, Carol, the Top Cat Tigress 2 Anderson says Brad Kimothy. Oh, I can't talk today again. Kimothy. Brad, Kim, Jonathan, Sam, everyone, to you all. Danny Contreras says hello. Yulette Wilson. Coco Diaries says, hey, Brad. Coco Diaries?
Yes.
Diaries? Is that like Rococo chocolate but different?
No, it's somebody different.
Okay.
Ken Kibbett, Andreen Spence, Princess Black, and some guy by the name of also Jonathan says squat up.
Ooh.
Who's that guy?
Someone that sounds really cool.
It sounds like a handsome man.
Sounds like a blessed
A
man.
blessed
so
man.
suave.
A suave. Right. Maybe you should have like it's like Carol the Top Cat Tigress.
I know,
Maybe you should be like like Jonathan Suave Bola, Something like that.
That would be a little too much.
A little too suave.
And isn't this what your Google name is? So that means that anytime he would send an email or anything, it would come
Right,
up as
yeah.
Jonathan Suave Master Flex
That would
Elliott.
be a little much.
Like
It's a little much. A little much. All right. Well, we have 25 people watching on YouTube. We got 54 people watching on Facebook right now, and if anybody knows how to do the math, that is way too low. So what we need everybody to do right now is take out your thumbs and don't sit on them because that could hurt you. Yes. What we want you to do is take your thumbs out and press that little thumb button if you're watching on Facebook. Give us a thumbs up, give us a heart, give us a happy face, give us a laugh. Don't give me an angry face though, but give us everything else but that.
Right.
And if you have some comments while we are going through our schmooze, which we're going to be going through in a minute or two, please let us know what your comments are, because after each story, I'd like Belgium Kim and Jonathan to tell us what everybody's commenting on. I'd like to hear, because I can't talk and read at the same time, which is why I have Belgium Kim and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias to remind everybody what they have to do one last time, especially on YouTube, which I didn't mention yet.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So right now we are only at 8 shares on Facebook. So I know that we've been focusing on interactions and making sure that you comment and like the video, but please share right now, because at this time we usually are about 50 shares. So let's catch up right now, all right? So share to pages, share to groups, but most importantly, share to the inboxes of people, directly message them, because that's how we can get the word out. But please, interaction. We want to know everything that you guys are thinking about, what you think about the videos, what we have to say, and also please like I said. And what are we going to do on YouTube?
YouTube family, you guys are not off the hook, because you need to press that little share button. It's going to copy the link. And what you're going to do is copy that link into all of your WhatsApp messages, to friends' emails, to friends' texts, however, group me's, however you communicate with all of your loved ones, and you paste this into a message and let them know where they can get free immigration advice from the best. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, click that little bell so you get notified every single time we go live.
And with that, we got to get into something that we like to call Schmoozing with Brad. So Donald Trump flew Air Force One.
Hey, Daddy.
He flew Air Force One all the way to Hanoi,
Ooh.
Whoa. Vietnam.
Vietnam. Okay.
Vietnam.
Okay.
And after a long journey, he is going to be facing the world's largest security challenge right now, which is getting to the Korean Peninsula to be denuclearized. Now, everybody has a different understanding of what denuclearization means.
Right.
Okay, to the United States, it means no nuclear weapons there. There is no way in the world. Mm-hmm. You see that happy smile right there from Kim Jong-un?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Do you know the only reason in the world, there is only one reason in the entire world why he has the opportunity to shake the hand of Donald Trump? Not once, not twice. There's only one reason in the world why he is able to have the news all focus on him. Mm-hmm. Because he has a nuclear weapon.
Yep.
Right.
And if he did not have a nuclear weapon, Donald Trump would not be meeting with him, and he probably would not even be the leader of North Korea at this point. So, why in the world would he ever, in a million years, get rid of his nuclear weapons? He will never, ever do it. Because it is the nuclear weapon that got him the meeting.
Absolutely.
So Donald Trump actually, in my opinion, rewarded him for bad behavior.
Yep.
Okay? Which is now to other dictators around the world says, hey, you know what? I'm being ignored. Nobody likes me. Nobody wants to meet with me. But if I get a nuclear weapon, I can get Donald Trump to meet with me.
Yep.
So if anything, my opinion is, I wish I had the bullshit buzzer right now.
Right.
This is bullshit.
Yeah.
Because they are not, he is never going to get rid of his nuclear weapons because he's already been rewarded for keeping them.
Yeah.
Right.
And if anybody knows anything about world history, the person who decided to get rid of the nuclear weapons, Who was that? It was Muammar al-Gaddafi. And that was in the late 90s.
And that was that.
And that was bad for him.
Yeah.
He ended up in a ditch with his head cut off.
Right.
About 2 years after he got rid of his nuclear weapons.
Yep.
So there's no way in the world this guy is ever going to get rid of his nuclear weapons. Donald Trump is going to send a tweet out 24 hours from now and say, the world is safe. It is not safe.
No.
I don't care what he says. Even if they agree to get rid of nuclear weapons, he ultimately will not do it.
Yeah.
Because he's already been rewarded and sees he gets rewarded for keeping them.
Right.
Yeah, he doesn't have any incentive.
He has no incentive now whatsoever. So I hit the bullshit button on the entire Vietnam meeting between, I was going to call him Ho Chi Minh, but it's not Ho Chi Minh. Kim Jong-un. Ho Chi Minh was, I think, the head of Vietnam during
It's a city
during
in Vietnam.
It's a city in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Right. But I guess I'm calling bullshit on Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump meeting.
Yeah.
That shouldn't happen. I would have rather have lived in a world where North Korea is threatening people and the entire world goes against North Korea and says this must stop now, because what it has done is it is made an absolutely, positively, every dictator in the world is seeing what Kim Jong-un was able to do, and now that dictator is saying, I want a nuclear weapon too because I want the same thing.
Absolutely.
It's called slippery slope.
Yeah.
I call bullshit. I think Donald Trump and his red hair should go home.
LVLX Ninja on YouTube just said, Donald Trump is going to tweet out, I'm the small spoon and Kim is the big spoon.
It's very, and that would be quite funny, actually.
And it's true because he did say that they fell in love. Like
Yes.
he has said on multiple occasions that they fell in love.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the
Have you
way,
not heard this?
I just read, I don't know if this is true or not, but I just read about a week ago that Kim Jong-un, some elites in North Korea fell in disfavor with Kim Jong-un, and they got killed by a firing squad by shooting a flaming arrow through them. That's how he killed his people who came in not in favor. And 1 week later, he's meeting with the leader of the free world.
Wow.
How is this all being rewarded?
What?
Now, I want you to know something, okay? Bill Clinton didn't do any better, okay? Bill Clinton made a deal with Kim Jong-un and said, we got rid of nuclear weapons. He never did it, okay? Bush and Obama, to both of their credit, said, I'm not going to meet with this guy.
Right.
I won't meet with him because I'm not going to give him...
It legitimizes them.
Well, I'm not going to give him the reward of being able to meet with the president and have the whole world focus on him.
Absolutely.
Because he built a nuclear weapon.
Yep.
Because at least they knew that once that meeting happens, every other dictator says, so that's how you get to meet Donald Trump.
Yeah.
That's how you get to meet the next president. We build a nuclear weapon.
You're absolutely right.
It has actually made the world less safe, not more safe.
Yep.
I don't care what Donald Trump says. It's my opinion. And we have some video. What is the video?
And we go back and forth, and then we fell in love. Okay? No, really. He wrote me beautiful letters. We fell in love.
Fell in love.
You fell in love.
They fell in
weird.
love. It's so strange.
So weird. It's a dictator.
He wrote me beautiful letters.
The man who just shot a flaming arrow
Through
through
somebody.
This
That is just so bizarre, the whole thing. But he really has made, this is making the world, even if they make a deal, and the deal is that there'll be some less nuclear weapons in North Korea. The North Koreans won't blast a nuclear weapon over Japan, okay, or test a nuclear weapon over Japan. Certainly, by all means, yes, the tension has been reduced. Nobody's saying the tension hasn't been reduced. But I'm saying in the long term, in the long run, this does an enormous amount of damage to world security and peace, because every dictator in the world sees now that if they get a nuclear weapon, they can get a meeting with the president, that they otherwise, nobody would know who this dictator is otherwise.
You're absolutely right.
Meanwhile, Representative, what's his first name? Deutsch.
Ted
Deutsch
Yeah.
of Florida. I give him some kudos. We were
Yeah.
talking about it in the social media room,
We
right? And he just came out with a report that he uncovered as a congressman from Florida, that in the last 4 years, there have been over 4,556 different children who claimed that they were sexually assaulted while in immigration
Oh my gosh.
detention. That means that there was a sexual abuse of a minor by a guard or somebody in charge of a facility holding minors for detention for immigration violations they had no decision to make. They were minors. They didn't decide to come here. Somebody sent them here.
Yep.
They didn't do this on their own free will. And certainly they didn't agree to go to jail. And certainly when in jail, they didn't agree to be touched or sexually abused
Yep.
by an adult or somebody who has been trusted in their care or a guard. 1 a week for the last 4 years.
Right.
These allegations go back to 2015, meaning that, so it was under Obama as well.
Right.
I mean, we call it as it is.
Absolutely.
Okay? But the allegations have increased in the past 2 years under the Trump's administration zero tolerance policy that led to at least 2,800 different family separations. At least 178 of these sexual abuses were carried out by people who were given direct care and supervision of these children. Now, Ted Deutsch, who is the congressman from Florida who has uncovered all of this, he says these documents detail an environment of systematic sexual assaults by staff on unaccompanied children. These documents tell us that there is a huge problem with adults and employees of the Department of Homeland Security sexually abusing children. This is as bad or even worse than what's going on in the Catholic Church right now, which I won't even comment on because I'm not part of that church.
Right.
But it is just as bad.
Absolutely.
Commander Jonathan White, who oversees the care of immigrant children at Health and Human Services, responded angrily to the congressman, saying that the government officials at his department have never been accused of such a crime. Data provided by Deutsch's office shows that 4,556 complaints investigated by Health and Human Services at 1,303, or 29%, were sent to the Justice Department for investigation and criminal charges.
29%.
Yes.
So that means that 2 and 3 didn't even get any further review?
Committee Chairman Representative Elijah Cummings, who is a Democrat from Maryland, he says, when our own government rips vulnerable children, toddlers, and even infants from the arms of their mothers and fathers with no plan to reunite them, that is government-sponsored child abuse. It is our job to step in and protect these children. Further delay is not an option. It is also child abuse to put your hands on a child.
Yep.
It is also child abuse to sexually abuse a child.
Right.
Plus, there was at least 2 deaths that we're aware of that we talked about.
It is.
Yeah.
This report, when it came out today, really, really upset me. We hear a lot of reports like this frequently. This one really upset me.
Marge Hicks says, I hate to hear these news. It cuts me to the core knowing I have grandkids who at their care at the same age and younger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
That's nearly 5,000 children who have been traumatized in one way or another in the last 4 years. 5,000 children. That's insane.
All right. Meanwhile, New York City is planning on indicting Manafort on similar crimes that he's already pled guilty to in federal court as a way to hedge against Donald Trump giving Manafort a pardon. So because the president can only pardon federal crimes, can't pardon state crimes. Now the problem that the district attorney in which district attorney is doing this? It's Cyrus Vance, that's the Manhattan district attorney. The problem with doing this is that you can't face double jeopardy. So you have to be found guilty of a different crime than which he has already been prosecuted in federal court.
Oh.
So that is going to be the big problem here. It's not exactly clear exactly what he's been charged with in federal court that is different than what he would be charged in the state of New York.
If his charges were for the same thing regarding different payments or a different instance, even though they're the same charges, would that still count as double jeopardy? Or if it's a different instance, then it's not double jeopardy?
Well, they can argue that it was all within the same scheme of a crime, so it's double jeopardy. And they can also argue that each crime in of itself was a separate crime.
Therefore, not double jeopardy.
It really depends on what the statute says.
Oh, wow.
So it's based on the statute. So if it's a different act or action or mens rea or actus rea, which is Latin for bad mind, bad act. If it's a different bad mind or a different bad act than what was done then perhaps it wouldn't be double jeopardy.
Oh, okay.
Meanwhile, the Trumps want to pull a Bush. Looks like Donald Trump Jr. says he wants to run for president in 2024.
Oh, no, God help us.
Yep, there he is. Our next president. In 2024. Damn, yes. He posted on Instagram mentioning his name in an answer to a question about potential Republican candidates in 5 years. The father of 5 spoke at the 2016 Republican National Convention and has expressed an interest in running for governor of the state of New York. He would never win the governor of New York.
Of New York?
Would never. New York's a Democratic town, and everybody hates this guy in the state.
I was going to say, and if New York ever flips to Republican, it sure as hell is not going to be for a Trump.
It's not going to be for a Trump. That ain't happening.
I cannot.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Wow.
So meanwhile, what is this? Ford made a conveyor belt mattress to keep bed hoggers in their own lane.
What?
So I don't even know what this means. Ford has been known to develop conceptual prototypes that utilize its car technology. The company's created a conveyor belt bed that takes inspiration from Ford's lane-keeping technology. The bed has a pressure sensor that can tell when your partner has clearly violated your space.
Oh my God.
We have video of it. I could probably use this bed. I would like to have this bed. How do I get this bed? I don't like I like my opinion on beds.
Yeah.
Okay, we can get up there. It is.
It literally just scoots you back
it scoots
over.
You back. That's great. I need that. I need. Like when you're in the car and then all of a sudden you start swaying out of lane. The car brings you back into the lane.
Yeah.
The same exact thing, but for beds. I think that's a great thing, and I'll tell you why. I love to cuddle. I'm a cuddler like anybody else. But when it's time to go to bed, there's a demarcation that goes right down the bed. This is your country. This is my country. And if I had Donald Trump here, I'd have him build a wall right in the middle. I've thought about getting some brick and mortar in between, right?
You've got Border Patrol stationed in the middle of your bed.
In the middle of the bed, we need some Border Patrol. But that would get rid of it all.
I know. But here's where I worry about this, is exactly your point, Brad, the cuddling. The cuddling means there is inherent, is it just going to keep spinning if you guys cuddle? You know what I mean?
No, that would be great. All of a sudden you come over and you're like,
It's just
like, honey, I just want to kiss you goodnight.
This is a no spoon bed.
Right. Can you imagine if it was like electric shock all of a sudden?
Right.
Exactly.
So like, when does it start?
When does it start? How is King Shadon and Donald going to sleep in the bed together?
That's true.
Who's going to be the big spoon? Small spoon
How can they spoon?
They can't.
It's got a sensor in the middle of the bed.
But like,
and if one person goes over the sensor, it rolls you back.
But how about if you guys want to cuddle?
That's what we're saying.
Okay, so I believe if you can cuddle, you got to break through. So sometimes, have you driven a newer car lately?
Yes.
Okay, so when you're driving, it brings you back. But if you wanted to, you could pull the wheel far enough over and just go to the other lane.
Right.
If you wanted to.
So you got to.
So you got to work hard to cuddle.
So you gotta like really roll your weight all on the other person.
I love it. All right,
really
can you ask Groundhog Sam to look into how we can get one of these beds?
Absolutely.
I would love one of those beds.
It's just a prototype so far, I think. So we'll have to see. I'm into it. I'm a cuddler too.
Rich
but
people.
Is that a rich person's problem?
Yeah, that's a real rich.
That is not a rich person.
That is an
every person problem.
Yeah, it's a rich person's solution to
that is a solution to an everyday problem.
That's still a rich person's problem. Yeah. Like if anybody just. Hey, can you move over a little bit?
While you're sleeping.
I've done it.
Meanwhile, there's a celebrity tortoise breakup that has been rocking the world.
A celebrity tortoise breakup?
Tortoise.
Tortoise.
Turtles Bibi and Poldy, who live in Klagenfurt, Austria, were a perfect match. They were handsome. Pody is handsome and sociable with bright eyes and a fondness for neck scratches. Bibby has a regal bearing and a dramatic streak. They share hobbies like loitering in sunny spots as well as shady spots. Yeah, they have mutual love of tomatoes. And they're both from Galapagos Islands.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes. They have a common history too. Although the early details of their lives are a bit hazy, both hatched around 1897.
1897?
Yes, turtles live for a long
crazy.
time.
Turtles are
They
crazy.
grew up together at a zoo in Switzerland, and they first hooked up in 1920.
Yeah, they did.
In 1920.
He's been getting it for a while.
Yeah, they hooked up over
Okay.
over 100 years ago.
Okay.
But and then they moved to Austria together in the late 1970s for retirement.
As one does.
Yes, and they built a long-standing, comfortable relationship in Austria.
Yeah.
But one day in November 2011, something changed. A keeper approached their shared home only to see Bibi lunge forward and bite a large chunk off of Poldy's shell.
Oh my God.
Yes. After 100 years, there started to be some abuse in the relationship. Now, what is shocking about this is that neither of them have teeth because they were so old.
Right.
Okay, but they do have powerful, jagged-edged jaws, and they kept fighting. I would think after 100 years, Jonathan, no matter how much you're in love with somebody, would you be fighting with them after 100 years?
After 100
After
years.
100 years, you're like, damn, woman, where is that bed that keeps you on your side, right? You're like, where is Ford when you need them?
Nag, nag, nag. 100 years of
So
nagging.
after spending 100 years together, they have finally been separated.
Oh my God.
Yes, yeah. So it's actually a pretty sad day.
Yeah.
They moved Poldy to a temporary bachelor apartment where they're arranging the pair to try to come and have a date once a week.
Okay.
And the animal trainers are trying to be almost like a marriage counselor between the two of them. So they've separated them to two different. So Poldy's in his bachelor pad, and the other turtle by the name of BB
right.
has stayed in the marital home.
Is she getting it in? Does she have visitors?
Yes, but what's happening is that BB's visiting Poldy once a week to see if they can try to reconcile. But so far, this
Maybe she
romantic
wants a new tortoise.
this romantic gambit has not really helped.
Oh my God.
No, it has not really helped.
She's on Turtle Tinder,
Yeah.
you know.
Unfortunately, after 100 years, it's really hard to beat the
And
odds
it's
of
just
staying
over?
together. Yeah, it's over.
What?
It's over.
You guys, come on.
Yeah,
You
but
can-
they do have matching condos like most divorcees.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
and
look at him.
they have actually matching condos. A wall separates BB's enclosure from Poldy's, so if they want to, they can still visit each other. Apparently, they have a shuffleboard. They have a shuffleboard court right out in front if they want to play shuffleboard
ever use
together.
it?
They've never used it yet.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but that's what people do in retirement, I think, in Florida. But they're separated. But I've heard of people like being married for 30, 40, 50 years, and then they're like, all right, I've had it with you. But this is 100 years.
These turtles live better
Yeah.
lives than me.
Yes.
Yeah.
How is that? But I think what kills me the most is that we'll never know what happened. Like they went from we're cool for 100 years.
We don't. Nobody really speaks turtle,
That's
so
what
we
I'm
don't
saying,
know.
Brad. It's
But
driving me crazy.
Willie Williams is taking a guess. He says his play got old. And Sean and Kate Pert said that turtle was violent for Vawa.
Grandma said she put on her chastity belt and it hurt him badly.
Yes, and Sam said the turtles need the conveyor belt bed, but I think I said that already.
Yeah. What do you think separated the turtles, Brad?
I think 100 years.
Time?
Right. This is my opinion on marriage.
Oh, we're
I'll
about
give you
to
my
get
opinion on marriage.
Even turtle
Okay,
marriage.
this is like through like this is like my evolution of marriage.
Okay.
Okay. When marriage happened, you know, the marriage between the man and the woman from like 1,000 years ago, whenever it started, people were only living to 30, 35 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If you live to 35, okay, and you're like in the Serengeti, and you live to 35, you were smarter than the lion. 'Cause
Right.
by then the lion would have probably eaten you already, right?
Okay.
Right.
So you don't live to 70, 80 years old. So you get married when you're 15, 18, 20 years old. All right, so you're married for 10, 15 years.
Right.
And then you're dead, and that's it. Now you get married at 20, you're going to be married for 60, 70 years. Evolution wasn't made for that.
We're not supposed to be with
Not
someone
supposed to
for
be with somebody
70
for
years.
This turtle wasn't supposed to be with this person for 100 years.
Fun fact.
Would you agree with that, Jonathan? That's why people are getting married so much older, later in life now.
I don't think they even care. Like, I don't think they even know what marriage is. They're just
The turtles, they
No.
know each
know
other.
their relationship.
They know their relationship. They've
don't
seen
think
each
so.
other for 100 years.
Yeah.
You don't think you think every day they wake up and they say, "Who are you?"
I think they wake up every day and it's like, where's the food?
No,
They slept shell
they
to
know
shell,
each
and now
other.
they almost kill each
They
other.
know
Are
each
you
other.
kidding?
They know each
Ish
other.
went down, Yo-Yo. Ish
Do you
went
think? Do you
down.
think? What do you think the squad thinks? You think the squad thinks they know each other, or are they just interested in food? I think they definitely know each other.
I think they know. I think they obviously know each other.
That's my opinion.
I don't know. This makes me really sad, Brad. I'm a little bit heartbroken about these turtles. I don't know what happened.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's true that turtles aren't supposed to be monogamous. Fun fact. Turtles
They're
are
not?
non-monogamous creatures. Some of them never mate. They don't have, yeah.
All right.
My turtle
Well,
fact
we
for
will
the
never.
day.
We will never get. It is a question for at least the centuries. We will never get the answer to it. But I will give you. I know what we will get answers to. Those are your immigration questions coming up in about 15 seconds. As soon as Belgium, Kim, and Jonathan, Yo-Yo Elias tell you what you're supposed to do with your thumbs.
Sam, you already know what to do with your thumbs, but I'm going to remind you.
Nothing dirty, Kim. Nothing dirty.
Oh, wait, hold on.
until
I got to
tomorrow.
switch my whole
Yes,
speech
yeah.
up.
Tomorrow you can tell
okay.
the dirty story about what they're supposed to do with their thumbs.
But for today, then, you're just going to hit that. I know, it's killing me. You're just going to hit that thumbs up. You're going to hit those hearts. You're going to use the rest of your fingers or your thumbs, depending on what you're looking at, to type and tell us exactly what you're thinking and feeling about the callers that we're talking to, the questions that we're asking, and the discussions that we're having. And you're going to be sharing into people's inboxes. You're going to share as a message to all of your friends, all of the big friend groups that you have going on. I know because I'm in some of your friend groups in inbox, so I know you're sharing it. Thank you, thank you. Keep going. Yo-Yo is going to tell you what you're going to do with YouTube.
All right, guys. YouTube, please copy the link and send it in a WhatsApp group. Just create a group on your WhatsApp of friends, family, anybody you think that might need immigration advice or might be just interested in the show. So create that group, then send it into the WhatsApp just to remind them that the show is going on. And also, don't forget to subscribe and press that like button right now. Let's everybody watching right now, press that like button.
And with that, if you got an immigration question, I got an answer for you, and something that we like to call me with your immigration question. 1-800-529-5465, getting answers to all of your immigration questions. All right, you ready?
Yes.
I'm all stretched and ready to go.
Yeah.
David in Queens, how are you? What's up? Okay, go ahead. It's all right. I got all the time, David. Take your time.
Hello?
Yep, I'm waiting.
Yeah, sorry. So, if you came on a U.S. Student visa to the United States, and it expires, right? But now, a month after high school wants to sponsor you a job as a coach, is there some way I could obtain a visa for work purpose?
No, because you've overstayed your time. You would have to go home. And now, if you've overstayed on your student visa, you have at least a 3-year bar, because the 3-year bar started on a day in February, I forgot. So at least you have a 3-year bar right now if you go home to pick up a visa. So you would not be able to if you've overstayed on your student visa after August of 2000. And
But
if
I
you
don't
if you-
overstay because after a year, I worked because I got a work permit, but that expired like a month ago.
Oh, that expired a month ago. Well, then, yes, if you have a college degree and you're going to work in a college degree job, which is a teacher, and you have a school that wants to sponsor you, they can do an H-1B for you. But you would need
But
to...
what about like a coaching job, like for track and field? Because I was a student athlete.
Well, do you have a college degree?
Yes.
What is your college degree in?
It's in like a general studies psychology.
Okay. So you have to be able to show that your work experience and your education have a relation to the job that you're going to be doing. I don't think psychology, unless you studied the sports of psychology, has anything to do with coaching. Maybe it does. I doubt it. And then you would have to show that the job that you're going to do, the minimum requirements for that job will require a college degree. That you couldn't be a coach if it wasn't for going to college, which is probably not the case also. Now, you can be sponsored as a teacher for an H-1B because you would need to go to college to become a teacher, but a coach, not necessarily. So I think at the bare minimum, the time to do H-1B visas is now. The window to do it is now. You got to get it filed April 1st, and we're already towards the end of February. So if you're going to do an H-1B, you do it now or forever hold your peace, which is the work visa. So what I would suggest is hold on. I doubt you're going to be able to get sponsored as a coach. Maybe, I doubt it. I'd like to see more and talk to you more, but we can talk about other options as well. So hold on one second, okay? All right, let's go to Raj in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Raj. Eau Claire.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Yeah, a lot of news. I was on call, actually. You guys are, like, amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I learned all the news, too, as we go along.
Right, that is what I was telling. Yeah, I was on call waiting, and I was, like, just listening, and I was discussing with my wife about your show. And she's like, yeah. So I have a question, actually. The question is, I filed my adjustment of status in December 25th, and then biometrics done on January 25th. And when I was looking at status, I'm just wondering about how many days it will take for EAD. It's almost like 60 days, I guess, till now.
You're gonna wait at least another 3 months, unfortunately.
Another 3 months? Okay. Because in this time, I was actually a student, so I got a work authorization from school. I'm doing my master's. At the same time, it's gonna be ending April 25th. So I was thinking if so it will come before, because
when does your work permit expire?
25th of April.
Maybe. You never know. I mean, I don't have a fortune teller ball. I have a magic 8 ball over here, so I can ask the magic 8 ball, but that's about all I can ask, and so far the magic 8 ball is pretty on mark, but I don't know. It may come before April, but you got to figure it's about 5 months now. From start to finish.
Is there any option that I can, after, I was looking in the Google, after 75 days, we can send some, from HR letter?
You can send all the letters you want. You're going to wait 5 months. Because the only way to do it is to sue the government, but by the time you sue them, you'll get the work permit anyway. So they screw you.
Oh, okay.
All right, so just hang in there. Hang in there. All right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's go to Batul in Brooklyn, or Batul?
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
Hey, actually, I applied for adjustment of status in April in 2017 August 2017. So recently, I got the appointment. It took 17 months to got the appointment. So. March 19th is my interview. So my question is it necessary that I have to take a lawyer with me?
You're asking a lawyer if it's necessary to hire a lawyer?
Yes, it is.
Yes. You want to know why?
Yes.
Because this is the most important thing in your entire life, getting your green card. There can't be anything, I would assume at this point, more important than you getting your green card, because you've even taken the time out of your life to wait on hold to ask me about this. So obviously it's very important to you to make sure you get your green card. And when you go to immigration to get your green card, it is an adversarial process, meaning that the person who's interviewing you is not in your favor, he's against you. He's looking for reasons, or she's looking for reasons to deny you. Now, when you go to the interview, the lawyer cannot answer the questions for you. Just like when you're a court of law, the lawyer doesn't go on the stand and say, and ask the question. So where were you on December 1st? And then the lawyer says, wait, don't ask anything. Get off the stand. I'm going to come on. He was in the pool hall on December 1st. He couldn't have killed that person. All right. Obviously, you're the one who gives the testimony. You're the one who's going to testify about the validity of your marriage. But you have a lawyer next to you to make sure that the process is being done properly, that your rights are not being violated, that it is an adversarial process, and you got to have somebody there on your team. That's why you need a lawyer.
Yes. So the thing is, my lawyer, I called him, and he's pretty much busy. And
well, then your lawyer is giving you ineffective assistance of counsel. All right, because in this day and age, a lawyer should be with his client at immigration for an interview. If the client asks.
That's right.
If the client asks.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, and
so,
one more thing is, my current EAD is getting expired in June, and I already applied to renew it. Mm-hmm. So in between, what's going to happen? Am I going to
either if you get your green card, wonderful, and if you don't, then you'll get a work permit renewal. All right, and if you need help going on the interview and preparing you and being there, hold on one second. We're not too busy for you. Hold on. All right. Let's go to Andreen in Biloxi, Mississippi. Andreen in Biloxi, Mississippi. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, I have a question for you. Have you ever dealt with a client where they showed up for the interview and they said, oh, we don't have your files, we're going to have to reschedule you?
Yep.
Okay, so I showed up for my interview October of last year.
Yes.
And they said they would reschedule me, but I haven't heard anything.
How long have you been? How long has your case been pending now?
I'm gonna say a year and about 7 months.
All right. So what you would do is this: if I were you, okay, I would hire a lawyer like myself, because we can handle it in any of the states, all 50 states, to file what's called a mandamus action, which is to force the government to schedule an interview for you. As soon, I can guarantee you, well, I can't guarantee you anything, but I would almost guarantee you, it could be 100% certain, but I'm 99.99999% certain that as soon as we file that mandamus action, we will get a call from the Immigration Service. Please withdraw from the U.S. Attorney's Office, because they don't want to deal with you not getting an interview. They got much bigger fish to fry, like Paul Manafort. They don't want to deal with your case. They're going to give us a call and say, I promise you, immigration will find the file and interview your client, Andreen, in the next 30 days if you promise to drop the lawsuit. That's what will happen. Okay. Other than that, you're going to wait forever.
What's the name of the...
It's called a mandamus. A mandamus. Hold on one second. Yeah, hold on. Let's go to Eckerd in Indiana. Eckerd.
Yes, sir. How are you doing?
How are you?
Good. I came to Indiana on a B1, B2 visa to do some business. I got ill. I came here April is 2 years.
What do you mean? What do you mean you came to do business? I don't know what that means.
I operate a business.
You what?
I operate a business.
Well, a B2 visa is a tourist visa, and a B1 visa. B2. A B1 is a businessman's visa, but it's not. It's to attend a meeting or a conference. It's not to work here. So when you say you came to do business, what was it that you were coming to do?
I wasn't working. I came to get a contract for a work and travel program.
Okay, fine. Okay. So now so what happened? Why are you still here?
I got ill. I'm seeing a doctor.
What's wrong with you?
Every 3 months. It's a bipolar treatment.
Where are you from?
Jamaica.
Okay. Well, then you overstayed your time. And
I'm planning to go back home because I have a death in my family.
Mm-hmm. You're not going to come back.
I don't know.
Unless you figure out a way to get a green card. All right? You're not going to go into the U.S. Embassy and say, I stayed in the United States for 3 years because I'm bipolar. All right? First of all, that's just admitting you're bipolar is a reason because you have a mental health issue to deny your visa. The fact that you overstayed is a reason to deny your visa. So, and even though the options for treatment for bipolar, I would assume, are very limited, if at all, in Jamaica, I'm sure it actually does exist to some level. And the government will hold their hat on and say, you could have got treated in Jamaica, even though you know what you get, the treatment in Jamaica and the treatment in the United States is obviously disparate. You know, you got a problem when you go home. So, you know, perhaps you may want to have a consultation before you go home so we can see what options you have. I don't know off the top of my head, though.
Okay.
All right, hold on one second. All right, let's go to Junior in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Junior.
Hi, Brad. Good evening.
Yes.
Yes. I just got in and I turned the TV on YouTube, but I heard, like, in the middle of the conversation, you're talking about the student visa stuff.
Okay, it's possible. I did talk about student visas.
Yes.
Okay, what is your
so
question?
my wife, she was on a student visa, but it has been expired. Could you explain back what you were saying earlier about that to see if it?
Yeah. Well, are you a U.S. citizen?
No, resident.
Okay. So right now, in old immigration laws, pre-red-haired, red-orange dude from the White House, Donald Trump, if you overstayed on a student visa, there was a difference between being out of status for immigration purposes and out of status if you are on a student visa or on a J visa. And the reason is this. If you were out of status on any other type of visa other than a student visa or a J visa, when you came into the United States, the government gave you a specific day you had to leave America. So, for example, if you came on a tourist visa and you came on January 1st, 2015, they said they gave you an I-94, January 1st, 2015 is your entry, and you have until June 30th, 2015, 6 months. And that was on a student visa. That was on a tourist visa. That was on an H-1B visa. That was on any type of visa but a student visa, which is the F visa, or a J visa, which is like your au pair or your intern type of visa. On those type of I-94s, they would write D/S, duration of status. They never gave you a day in which you had to leave the United States. Because you were never given a day in which to leave the United States, the way the law was written, it said, since the government never told you when to leave, even though you violated your status, since there's no specific date in which you had to leave, you don't have unlawful status for the 3 and 10-year bar if you were to go home and come back. So, for example, the man who had called earlier who wanted to be a coach and get an H-1B visa, which I said I don't think you're going to qualify for, but assuming you do, you have a 3-year bar because that law does not exist anymore. What Donald Trump and his henchmen at the White House said that as of a date in August, which I don't remember, everyone on a student visa and everyone on a J visa, the clock starts ticking on the 180-day out of status rule for being barred for 3 or 10 years back home. Now, if you're a resident, what that means is that if you're going to file for your wife, she would have to do a provisional waiver before she goes home to come back. Or if you become a citizen, then it really doesn't matter. This entire discussion, she would just adjust the status here. That's what all that means.
Got you. So if I become a citizen, then I could adjust the status here.
Correct. Not a problem.
2-year bar does not pick up.
Correct.
Got you. Thank you.
Okay. So basically, is they changed the rules. Student visas and J visas were like the good visa to overstay because you didn't have a penalty when you went home. Now you do. That's basically the quid pro quo.
Got you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go to Taveen in Atlanta, Georgia.
Hello.
Taveen, what's going on back there? Oh my God, I almost blew my ear out there. There was a party, something.
Joined in.
All right, Taveen, what's going on? Atlanta, Georgia. They always say there's a party going on in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, that's where. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now. All right, what's going on?
Yes, I have a question here. I wanted to know what's the case for the H-2B position for this year.
I think they've reached their quota. My recollection is.
They reached them.
Yes.
So they reached their
I believe so.
cap.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And also, I just wanted to know if they were thinking to issue some additional visas or so.
Yeah. Right now, the H-2B visa, as far as I'm aware, is the cap's been reached. What is your specific question? Tell me what your specific question is for you.
My question is also, I wanted to know how is it? What's the process into doing an asylum or so?
What is the process of doing? How long have you been in the United States, Tavine?
For a year and a half.
Okay, you have to file for asylum within 1 year of coming to America. If you didn't do it, there is no process for you. You lost your ability to do so. Except, the one exception is for changed circumstances, meaning that something changed at home that now causes your life to be in danger because of a social group that you belong to that otherwise didn't happen when you first came here.
Oh, okay.
So what I would suggest you do, we don't need to hear your whole story right now, but let's have a consultation. Let's see what's going on, okay? So hold on one second. All right, let's go to Mukhtar in Harlem. Mukhtar.
Yes, Brad, how you doing?
Good, what's up?
Oh, well, I'm asking this question for my cousin, Grace. She just joined today. The question is, she had filed for a 10-year green card because 2 years green card had expired. So when she filed 5 years later, she did not see anything, no approval notice, nothing. But she met a lawyer who convinced her that because it has taken that long, so she would be eligible to file for citizenship.
True.
Then she got an interview. Then she went there, and they told her that immigration told her that they had sent her the 10-year green card, which she did not see. She did not get an approval notice. She did not get like a tracking number. Now she's in that limbo, so she doesn't know how is that possible that they sent her, but there is no proof.
What? So if they did send her, she would be eligible for citizenship. So what's the problem?
So, but she did not get the green card.
What happened on the citizenship interview?
Yeah, she went to the citizenship interview, and they told her to present a green card, but she did not get the green card because she did not receive it from immigration.
But she was approved, they say.
She did not see an approval notice.
Did they say that she was approved?
Well, they told her that they had sent her a green card, meaning that it was approved.
Okay, so they should have a record of it. They shouldn't deny her citizenship because they sent her a green card. She doesn't have a record of it. All a green card is evidence of your permanent residence. The fact that you're a permanent resident is in the computer system. You don't have a green card doesn't mean you're not a resident. So there's something more going on than that. You could always get a replacement green card if it was approved. Where is she now?
She lives in Houston, Texas.
All right, hold on. Let her have a consultation with me because we're going to need to get to the bottom of this. But A, they should have completed her citizenship, and B, whether she has her green card or not, they approved her. So I'm not sure what's going on. So hold on one second. Let's go to Nessie in Frisco, Texas. Nessie. Nisi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
I have a question. So my husband is not a U.S. citizen yet. We just filed for his papers back in October of 2018.
Right.
And so far, we've only received a letter saying that they did receive all the documents and payment. And so my question is, tax time is coming up, and I'm having to file my taxes. Should I file?
Yes, you should.
When
you got married when?
February of 2018.
Of 2018?
Yes.
Yes, you should file married, joint filing. He should have a Social Security number now. Use his Social Security number even if he earned no income.
He doesn't have a social number. We just filed for his papers back in October. He doesn't have anything.
Okay. Well, then you should still file a joint tax return. Tell your accountant to attach a W-7 form to your 1040 return That'll get him a tax identification number, and hopefully he'll get his work permit shortly. And when he does, he'll get his social, and you can reply to any tax papers or letters that they send you saying, what's the social security number?
Okay, so I still found joy even though he didn't have any income.
Correct.
And I also have my niece and my nephew that I've been supporting, so I've been filing them for the last year because I've been taking care of them.
Mm-hmm. It's fine. Keep it
So
up.
I'm sorry?
Keep it up. No problem.
So there shouldn't be a problem me filing my niece and nephew on
Nope.
there as well?
Nope.
Okay.
All right.
What if I file as single?
Then when you go to the you're lying to the IRS, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so lying on a tax document is a crime. So,
Right.
all right, so that's number one. Number two, when you go to immigration, one of the things you have to prove is that you and your spouse are in a bona fide marriage. How do they determine it's a bona fide marriage? That you have an economic relationship with each other. So if you're not
Right.
filing a joint tax return, you do not have an economic relationship, point blank. You will be
So
denied.
I can do married filing separate?
No, because you don't have an economic relationship at that point. You can do it any way you want. I'm giving you my advice.
Okay.
All right?
All right, thank you.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
Let's go to Victory in Jackson, Mississippi. Victory.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, I came here on a K1 visa. I got married to a U.S. citizen, and he has been so abusive, threatening me about immigration stuff and all these things, beating me up. So I got so scared I had to leave the house. I couldn't stay with all those pain anymore. And before then, we had filed adjustment of status, but they've sent me my work authorization, my social security number. So right now, I know when they call me, probably they will be sending me an interview, a date for interview, so I don't know what to do.
Well, it sounds like you're an abused spouse, and what you should do is file an abuse case, show up to the interview and say, I'm an abused spouse, I filed my abuse case, here's the receipt, here's the proof that it was a real marriage, and they'll keep your case open pending the outcome of the abuse case.
Okay, what about, we are trying to get a divorce now. Should I go ahead and get my divorce?
I would worry more about your immigration case than your divorce at this point.
Okay, I should keep my divorce pending.
Yeah, there's no reason to be divorced. It only hurts your case. It doesn't help it at this point.
Okay, but what if I get a divorce? It's gonna affect my immigration status.
It affects it in this sense. You've now given yourself a statute of limitations of 2 years to file an abuse case. What happens if you file it, it doesn't get approved, and you need to file it again? You're past the 2 years. You can't because you already got divorced. So it gives you an artificial statute of limitations for no reason whatsoever. So my advice always is to people who are filing VAWA cases, stay married till you get your green card. That way you can always refile again second, third, fourth times until you get it right.
Okay, thank you. All I need is to show up at my interview with my receipt number and tell them what's going on, right?
Correct. Now, they may not give you a receipt number at this moment because there is no VAWA, but it should be reauthorized very shortly. Get the process going.
Okay,
All
thank
right,
you.
You're welcome. Boop, 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 boop. Let's go to Accor in Brooklyn.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
I'm okay, and you?
Good, good. What's going on?
Thank you. Sir, I have a question about the abuse case. Yeah, I was abused 2 years ago by my wife, and I had a abuse case. I waited 2 years. My interview, I had the work authorization, social security, everything, but all of them is expired already. 1 month ago, I got a letter from immigration. It's denied. I don't know why, because I had a lot of proofs for my marriage.
One second. In the letter, it tells you exactly why you were denied. It's not a mystery. So read the letter. It'll tell you why you were denied. Why did they tell you were denied?
Yeah, it's, in the letter I read that it's telling me that I didn't have enough proofs, but I don't know.
So then you didn't have enough proof. So then there's a reason why you were denied. You didn't present enough proof. Now you may disagree with them, and say, I did give enough proof, but you know the reason why you were denied. Now the question becomes, let's take a look at what you submitted, and let's see what else you could submit to convince them otherwise. A lot of times you got to file a second time. Hold on 1 second. Let's go to Kevin in Hackensack, New Jersey. Kevin.
Hey, Brad. How you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing good.
What's
I'm
going on?
actually calling on behalf of a family member.
Right.
Situation is that he's a previously convicted felony, so E-felony charge. Was on probation for 10 years. Everything is all finished away. There's a death in the family and he wants to travel. If he leaves the country on his green card that is still valid and his passport, would reentry be granted back in the U.S. or is that all conditional based off of the previous felony charge?
What does he have the felony for?
It's an E-felony conspiracy. It's a drug charge.
Oh, he's not coming back. He would be barred for life.
So if
When
he
did
leaves the
this
country,
conviction happen?
It was about 10 years ago.
Yeah, he's an aggravated felon. If he left the country, he would be jailed and deported and never to see America again.
Okay, but
he's actually
able...
well, jailed and never to see America again would answer the question, would he be allowed to come back? The answer is no.
And that's based off of the law that passed in 2003, right?
No, it's based on the law that passed in 1996. He's actually lucky hasn't been deported. He's like one of those guys who fell through the cracks. He should have been deported when he went to jail or when he was convicted, to be honest with you.
So in terms of applying for citizenship, would that, is that even a possibility?
No. If you're an aggravated felon after 1990, you can't become a citizen. If you're an aggravated felon after 1996, it's automatic deportation. So that's why I'm saying the man's lucky he's not deported 10 years ago when he was found guilty of this. The only thing he can do is try to vacate his conviction. That would be it. But trying to renew his green card.
He's a previous client of yours, actually. So
all right. So let him come in and back and speak to me.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right.
Okay.
Lucky guy. He's not deported.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
Through the cracks.
That's right.
He did fall through the cracks. Huge crack.
Huge crack.
Huge.
Ginormous.
With that, let's go to something we like to... Oh, wait. Before we go to something we like to call social media check-in, what were some of the comments here, guys? Anybody had anything interesting to say?
We had a few good ones. Carol Anderson the Tiger has been getting a lot of love because she's just funny all the way around. Lisa Bling Rose, same. Grandma loves your confidence when you say things like, "It will be reauthorized shortly." That's exactly what Grandma said.
I like it.
She said it in all caps and everything.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so with that, let's go to something that we like to call social media check-in.
So before we start, I do want to say it is the 7th-year anniversary for Trayvon Martin's death. So we do want to, bring that out.
I did not know that.
Yes,
thank you for.
Yes,
I
and I'm
didn't
friends
realize.
with his brother as well. So,
but it wasn't even in the news. I saw the news today. They don't talk about it.
So that's why I have to say.
I'm glad that you did.
Yes,
I'm glad that you did because it's important.
Very.
And I had no idea.
Yeah. So just
had I known, I would have put it in the schmooze.
I meant to say it while we were schmoozing, but then I forgot after.
Okay.
But yeah. All right. So we're going to start off with Shireen McFadden. Hey, Brad, good day. I have a question. I'm planning to apply for citizenship, but I think here's the issue. Okay, so here's the issue. When me and my son, or soon-to-be ex-husband, had an argument, I ended up calling the cops for domestic violence, and later on I found out that the police record, I do have a police record from them, military police. I have a domestic violence and sexual assault record. This was happening overseas when we were stationed there in the year of 2017. So since I'm a civilian authority, forwarded the case to the German side. I got the letter from the prosecutor that says that they're not interested with the case. Now, my question is, will this affect me if I apply for my citizenship? No charges, not arrested. And
so basic bottom line is this: after that whole long convoluted thing, he was investigated for some sort of domestic abuse or sexual abuse. Nothing was ever brought against him. He was never found guilty of anything. he got arrested, perhaps, and the charges were dropped. That's fine. File your citizenship, but make sure you tell the government. When the question, have you ever been arrested?
Tell them that
the answer is yes, it happened, and here's the proof of it.
Even if he didn't get arrested.
Well, if he didn't get arrested, then it didn't happen. The
question
on the citizenship form is, have you ever been arrested?
Okay.
Not have you been suggested to have done something wrong.
Got you.
Nikki is her name has a follow-up question from yesterday. So Nikki is her name yesterday asked us about her son.
Well, I just want to say one thing though, okay? Because Dawn Harriet has it wrong about Trayvon Martin. There was no cop who shot Trayvon Martin. It was a security, Zimmerman, who was a self-anointed. I don't even know if he was supposed to be
a community
watchman who may or may not have even been told by the community to be the watchman. I don't even know.
No.
I don't remember. I don't. My recollection is he just took it upon himself to be community watchman.
He did.
Correct.
And apparently Trayvon Martin was walking through the community, wherever this may have been in Florida. I don't remember the town.
Right.
And Stanford, Florida? Sanford, Florida. Thank you very much. He had a bag of Skittles and a hoodie.
And an iced tea.
And an iced tea. And an iced tea.
But that was his father's neighborhood.
And Zimmerman said he looked suspicious. I got scared because he was a black kid in a hoodie and shot and killed him.
But the thing is, he followed him.
Right.
And he talked to
because he thought he looked suspicious.
Right, and the cops told him, do not follow him.
Right.
And he actually continued to follow him.
And then Florida has a stupid law that says if you feel threatened, you can kill somebody.
Right.
And that was his defense, and 6 idiots on a jury believed it.
So basically, he has been walking free. He did go to jail for
something
else, but
domestic
he's
violence.
Yeah, domestic violence.
The reality is his life is ruined. He's not dead. He should be dead, and Trayvon Martin should be alive. But his life, he should be in jail too. But I'm just saying,
his life isn't that ruined because he has a lot of supporters that have donated money to him, which is. Yeah, I mean, racist people like the KKK and stuff. So he does make money through that. He did make money off of writing a book and doing a whole tour. So it's unfortunate that someone like that can be celebrated, but he does walk free.
Not celebrated here.
No, definitely not.
Correct.
All right, now go back. I just wanted to make that clear. He
was
not shot by a cop.
It wasn't a cop.
Right.
It wasn't a cop.
So Nikki is her name had asked us a question yesterday about her son who, when he had turned 18, had been approved for a green card, and they had sent the green card in the mail, but then he left to go back to Jamaica and was there for 8 years. Yesterday, you gave the advice that she's going to need to refile for a brand new green card for him. What Nikki's wondering is, do you mean filing for a brand new green card or submitting a petition for a lost green card? And if you mean file for a brand new, start the process over, how long is it going to take for my single son who is 26 years old?
I mean, start over from scratch. If you left the United States with a green card for 8 years, you've abandoned your permanent residence in the United States, period. So you would have to file a new petition for him, and it's going to take 7-8 years.
All right, our next one is from Felicia. My question is, I have a friend who applied for an AOS through marriage since March 2017, got an RFE July 2017, sent it August 2017, but no interview since then in Dallas. Is this normal for the processing time?
How long is this processing?
Got an AOS in March 2017.
2 years is too long. Call me.
Tika said, how long after getting your 10-year green card can you file for citizenship when you started your paperwork in 2013 and you just got the 10-year?
If you base it on a bona fide marriage, it's 3 years from the time you got your conditional green card. That has nothing to do with when you started your paperwork. It has nothing to do with when you got married. It happens to do when you got your conditional green card. If you're no longer in a bona fide marriage, then 5 years from the time you got your conditional green card.
All right, Raid Malley says, my friend's wife left him 7 days before an interview for a green card. She disappeared. He doesn't know if he should go there. Tell him what to do, please. Thank you.
Since he lost his green card, what?
No, his friend's wife left him 7 days before the interview for a green card. So she just disappeared.
You got 3 choices. Go find the friend, go find the wife and make up with her, get a divorce and fall in love with somebody who won't disappear, or if there was abuse, file abuse. Those are always your 3 options.
Okay, and this was 7 days before the interview, so.
If it was 70 days before, 700 days before, it doesn't matter. Just a jerk that they would leave 7 days before an interview. Meanwhile, I just want to, I'm just reading the comments here. Asset Lindo has probably one of the most valid points of this whole Trayvon Martin thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she says, he went to jail for a white woman he hit, but walked the streets freely for a black boy he killed.
Yes, and
that basically sums it up.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right,
Florida
continue.
For you.
Right.
Also, please let us know in your our comments what you think about the whole situation, and even sending condolences because like I said, his brother is my friend as well, so I'm sure.
Were you part of the marches down in Florida? You were.
Yeah.
So tell me about that.
Oh,
quickly.
in Florida?
Yeah.
No, in New York.
In New York.
In New York, I was. Yeah.
So how did you know the brother?
He lives here in New York.
You were just friends with him here?
Yeah, we have mutual friends.
I see.
My roommate was friends with him. We all went to brunch, and now I see him all the time, out and about.
Right.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, Kim?
Once again, Black Lives Matter, ladies and gentlemen. Marsh B on YouTube said, I asked this last night, but was hoping you could give me an answer today. If I visit my U.S. citizen boyfriend and he proposes while I visit, how long should we wait before getting married, and how long will the process take to adjust my status?
Brad Squad knows the answer to this. How long should you wait for 90 days to get married? I just gave the answer. 90 days.
90 days.
All right. Cammie says, hey, Brad, question. I'm a VAWA applicant. My son is in Jamaica. I know that the I-824 takes a while. Can I send it off now so I can be through the process? Although I've not received a decision on my I-370 and haven't gone to my I-495 interview yet.
Yeah, you can send it off now.
We've got a question from Karma who said, why is it taking so long for I-130 petitions for siblings? I applied for my I-130, I submitted the I-130 for my siblings in 2007 and still have not received an answer. I applied for 4 of the siblings and their spouses, one of my...
If you haven't received an answer on the visa petition, you should be calling me. You shouldn't wait 12 years for an approval. But if you're asking why it's so long for the processing, I'm looking here, okay, believe it or not, okay, there are 65,000 green cards a year that are given to brothers and sisters of U.S. citizens. The waiting time is 14 years. Now, when it's 65,000 visas to a brother and sister, when you file for a brother and sister, it's usually the brother, the wife, and 3 kids. So that's 5 people off the 65,000. Each person who joins that application comes off the 65,000. Obviously, there's not 65,000 people waiting, because if there were, your brother would be here this year. There's probably 7, 8, 900,000 brothers and sisters waiting around the world to come to America.
All right, Brianna Burr says, good evening. Someone came through Canada illegally to the U.S. in 1992 and got in trouble with the law in 1996. With marijuana possession, he got a 2-year probation. Went back home to Jamaica 2017, not through an airport. His girl went down to marry him and would like to know if filing for him is possible.
He had marijuana conviction?
Yes,
not
1996.
Not filing for him. Not coming to America.
Even with a 2-year probation.
Even with a 2-year probation.
We've got a question from Rococo Chocolate, who said, I've applied for citizenship through VAWA. I applied 11 months ago. Now the case is going to review by an officer. No more emails from February. I don't fully understand what you were saying yesterday. So Rococo Chocolate was asking yesterday about cases, about VAWA cases being processed, but having filed the N-400. And then we thought that meant...
I don't understand what his question is.
Exactly.
So I can only give an answer
confused.
based on what I understand. So what is his question? I'll be happy to explain.
He said he applied for citizenship through VAWA.
Okay, so this is what it is. He got his green card, or she, whoever it may be, got their green card through VAWA, waited 3 years, and has now applied for citizenship, and is waiting 11 months, and the case is under review, and wants to know why it's 11 months to become a citizen, and the answer is the government just came out and said citizenship takes 12 to 34 months now. That's your answer.
All right, Sherry Williams says, how long is the work permit after fingerprint?
It's about 5 months from start to finish, assuming you do it right.
We've got a question from Lorletta, who said, my husband did my filing in October, and we get back to the receipt saying that they received it on the 26th. He said my son, who is in Jamaica, has one too, and we got the receipt. Then I did my biometrics and sent it in today. It's been 4 months, and I still don't have a work permit or a travel document as of yet. What's going on?
It's 5 months from the time you sent back everything and did it right.
So we've still got another month to go at least.
All right, Maurice Parker says, hey, how much will it cost to apply for a registered permanent residence or adjustment of status for a K-1 visa?
$1,225. You actually don't have to file the I-130.
Jody Ann said, my friend wants to know if a green card holder can divorce and marry someone to get their green card, and how soon can they start the paperwork? She's going to get her citizenship in 2 years.
It's 5 years. If you got your green card through marriage, and you're a green card holder, you could always get divorced, but you can't file for a new spouse for 5 years from the day you got your green card or until you become a citizen.
Tanisha Tennant says, question, Brad, when do you apply for an expired work permit? After 90 days of it being expired or 90 days before it expires?
Before.
Ahor said, I had an abuse case where I got a work permit and a social security number. There were lots of proof that that our marriage was bona fide and that there was abuse. A month ago, I got a letter saying that my case was denied. What can I do now?
Have me review it, figure out why it was denied, and let's refile it again and do a better job.
Okay, Shine Williams says, Brad, I have a mouthful of a question.
Oh, boy.
All right.
Because I can't pay attention after 4 sentences,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, so I'm going to try and get this out right.
All right.
I was asked by a friend what would be the outcome of this situation. Her sister was working for a caregiver for a man that has dementia, and while working, she told him a sad story. Somehow this man gave her money. She claims it was only $500, but she was charged with a felony federal charges that states that she swindled $10,000 out of him and was caught on tape prostituting herself onto this man in return for money. She's a green card holder. Will this person get put in deportation?
Sounds it, yes, because if it's a fraud, if you're found guilty of a fraud in excess of $10,000 or more, that's an aggravated felony, and then you are out of America for life.
That was a story.
That is a
So she claims
all of it.
She claims $500, but she's on tapes with a link of $10,000 and giving him sex. It sounds like her and Robert Kraft have a lot to talk about.
Damn, Brad. There's absolutely nothing to be said about that. Yes. Leela on Facebook wants to know. I'm traveling on a work permit that says advanced parole on it. Are they going to be is whoever is doing this going to be granted re-entry into the U.S.? They've been here for 17 years, had a legal entry but overstayed their visa, but now he's got his work permit and he's got, it says advanced parole.
Sounds it, yeah.
Kobe says, how long must one wait to receive a decision after an I-485 marriage interview?
Could be 1 week, could be 1 year, could be never. If it's more than 4 months, you call Brad.
Humayun says, my mom is a green card holder and she applied for me for my brother who is aged 17 and she submitted that I-130 in January of 2017. It's been over 25 months with still no approval. Please let us know what the best option is.
Mandamus.
Yeah, a 17-year-old brother, 2 years? Ooh.
Darshan says,
wait, it was a brother-sister application?
No, it's the mother filing
for
the brother, but
Davis,
I mean for 2 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Darshan says, my dad's 10-year green card just expired last week, so do we have to renew it or can we just directly apply for the citizenship?
Apply directly for the citizenship.
Tanya Winter said, if you sue the government for delay of the I-130, aka mandamus, will they flag your case as retaliation if you're also applying for a provisional waiver? Thanks, and y'all are so amazing for your time.
Thank you. If you have a clean case, you should file a mandamus. If you have a concern that they can make a discretionary decision against you, then that's a reason why you wouldn't file a mandamus. That's on a case-by-case basis, so I would have a discussion with a good lawyer like myself before you decide to do anything.
Tariq's question, can a previously convicted e-felon travel to Jamaica and gain re-entry back in the U.S. with a valid passport and green card?
If it's the one who's convicted of drugs, no, that we talked about earlier.
It just says an e-felon.
I don't know what the conviction was for.
Angela Barat says that she's asking for a friend. She's a U.S. citizen and she has a boyfriend who is here with a B1, B2 visa that he has overstayed. She'd like to marry him, but they have he has 2 kids over here with their mom. Can she file for his 2 kids? And how long will it take for him to get through?
How many kids is it?
He's got 2 kids, and he's overstayed his B1, B2 visa.
How old are the kids? That's what I meant to ask.
We don't know. Let's go
with minors. If the kids are under 18, then yes, she can file for the kids.
All right, Andy says a friend of 10 years green card holder by VAWA, U.S. citizen, divorced him a while back. His kids and mother and him worked things out because of their kids. Can he marry her and bring her over from another country?
Got the abuse through the same VAWA?
10-year green card holder by VAWA. So yeah, so U.S. citizen divorced them a while back. So I think.
You can file for your next spouse. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Even if it was the person who he had kids with prior.
I was about to say no. It is with the person that he had kids with because it's the mother of the kids.
Fine, but
they worked it out because of the kids.
Wait a second.
So I think he got a 10-year green card holder by VAWA through that U.S. citizen who divorced him a while back, and they had kids together. Now they're back together working things out. So can
yes, they can still get married. Absolutely. And
so you could get remarried.
Yes,
and all
you
that.
can work it out.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was a good one. I've never heard that.
That surprises me that you can.
Yeah.
That an abusive spouse could refile.
If you want to be with that abusive spouse, to me, people don't change. So
100%.
I would be very worried.
Right, that's true.
I would be very worried.
Our final question. He has been preaching tonight. You have been preaching tonight.
I haven't realized. What else have I preached about?
You have been preaching the between Zimmerman.
I didn't preach anything about Zimmerman.
Yeah.
I was just agreeing with Yo-Yo.
Yeah, you preached a little about Zimmerman. I think
what else?
I was appreciating your preaching.
Okay, what else?
Take the compliment, brother. Take the compliment.
All right. All right, it's a compliment.
It's a compliment.
All right, I'll take it.
Don't worry, we are your choir.
Yes.
And our final social media question for right now is from Skylar, who said, "Hey Brad, my husband makes over $400 a week. He just started his job about 4 months ago. Could he do AOS for me? We live together in the States, and would I need an affidavit of support?"
It depends what his tax returns show for the last 3 years, but he can definitely file for you. He's working. Why not? I just want to say I saw Jessica Leamy just wants to know what's prima facie and how does one get it. That's on a VAWA case. After they do a cursory review of your application, they say, yeah, it looks pretty good to me. It's prima facie. That's how you get it. All right, and with that, because I saw she keeps saying nobody answered my question. Asked my question. If you remember, about a year or so ago, we had interviewed this gentleman, Hector Barajas, who was 2 tours of duty in Afghanistan, got deported after being a veteran of the United States, and then lived in Mexico, and he recently came back to America. Let's just watch a 4-minute, because we had a chance now to catch up with him 1 year after he's been back now to America. Let's see what happened to him originally, and then we're going to see what happened to him now. So many of you may remember Specialist Hector Barajas on our show from last October. Hector served in the U.S. military. He was honorably discharged. He served in the 82nd Airborne Division between 1995 and 2001. But after he served as a lawful permanent resident who was living in the United States since he was a young child, after he served, he came back to America. He had some post-traumatic stress syndrome. He was in a car. Somebody shot a gun out of the car. It was not Hector, but he was still convicted because he was in the car. He served several years in jail. He was deported after honorably serving in the U.S. military. He tried to re-enter the United States. He did, because he wanted to raise his U.S. citizen-born child. He was caught in the United States in 2009. He was deported back to Mexico again, where he believed he was going to be living for the rest of his life. He had applied for a pardon from Governor Jerry Brown in 2017. He is the governor of California. Governor Jerry Brown granted him the pardon, and recently Hector applied for his U.S. citizenship based on the fact that he was honorably serving in the U.S. military during times of hostility. He has just discovered, just in the last few days, that in fact his U.S. citizenship application was approved and that he is now a U.S. citizen of the United States of America. It is some story, Hector, with some unbelievable ending. All I can tell you is congratulations. How do you feel, Hector?
Well, I'm very excited, and it's still, it still seems kind of unreal until I'm like actually over there.
You applied for your U.S. passport, and you can do that overnight if you want to. I know that we have a little video of you when you discovered from the USCIS, you got the decision approving your citizenship. Let's watch.
14 years, man. Coming home, Mom.
You grew up in the United States. It's really the only country you knew as a child. You served honorably in the military. You've now been out of the United States for a total of 8 or 9 years, 17 in total?
8 or 9 years.
Right.
Yes.
8 or 9 years.
Legally 14.
What's the first thing you're going to do when you cross over?
I'm going to thank God because my faith is growing, but also, I can't wait to be with my daughter and hug her. And then as far as like everybody's asking me like, what, I guess, what are you gonna, what do you miss? And food, like you'd be surprised, Taco Bell, Benihana rice.
What, Taco Bell? You've been in Mexico. Aren't you tired of Mexican food?
It's,
I understand Benihana, but Taco Bell? That's funny. But that's what you want.
Bell.
You miss Taco Bell.
So things like that.
Okay, well, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's an unbelievable story. Now, for those of you who don't remember, Hector started and runs the Deported Veteran Support House, which helps veterans who were deported from the United States reacclimate themselves to the country that they're being deported to. He has his office there in Tijuana, Mexico. What is going to happen with your office in Mexico? How is this organization going to continue now that you're a U.S. citizen?
I made a commitment. I made a commitment for another year because part of my advocacy is what helped me get home. So I can't just up and leave these men and my work. I live here 24/7. So
right.
The doors aren't closing. I'm going to stay here for another year, go back and forth. I know my family will understand, my daughter. And, I really believe in leaving no man behind. And I work with dreamers, moms, dreamers. And I think my life, my thoughts on immigration are a little bit different now. And just got to continue my work.
So that was Hector almost a year ago. He was a deported veteran, lived in the United States since he was 7, 2 active tours of duty, defended America, was hit by shrapnel, and was in a military hospital, and ultimately got deported. And then he started this Deported Veterans House. He helped all the other deported veterans. He brought publicity to this issue. And we're going to catch up with him now, see where he's been now a year since he gained his U.S. citizenship. But I know, Kim, a lot of people in Brad Squad were saying a lot of really cool, nice things. Let's hear what a few of them had to say.
Yeah, I saw that Lavonde Tucker had said congratulations to Hector, so had Yvonne Steele. We had Pauline Williams who said congrats, Mr. Hector. Shay Murray said congratulations, tears of joy in my eyes for you, Hector. Ramona Hazel said, moral of the story, there's always hope. I love it.
That is very true.
I love it.
All right, so I caught up with Hector last week, and let's see where he's up to right now. Specialist Hector Barajas served in the Army's 82nd Airborne Division from 1995 to 2001. But after serving a 3-year sentence for an aggravated felony, he was deported to Tijuana, Mexico in 2004. He re-entered the United States illegally and was caught in 2009, at which time he was deported for life. As a deportee, Hector founded the Deported Veteran Support House in Tijuana, Mexico. This was a house that was used to support deported veterans like himself fighting to be able to return to the United States. Then in April 2017, Governor Jerry Brown of California pardoned Hector for his aggravated felony, and in April 2018, the United States government granted Hector his citizenship, which allowed him to re-enter the United States. Hector has joined us twice before on the show as we have followed these life-changing events, and he joins me again today to tell us what he's been up to since he has been granted his U.S. citizenship after being deported for over a decade. So welcome, Hector. I really appreciate you coming back on the show. When we last spoke 10 months ago, you just received this amazing news that you got pardoned by Governor Jerry Brown of California, and you were about to go and attend your naturalization ceremony, which was going to be in Tijuana, Mexico. Now, who was there at this ceremony? Tell us about what happened there.
Sure. So my ceremony was actually at the federal building in San Diego. They gave me a temporary permit to go across to the federal building. And then once I went there, I was able to get sworn in. But,
fabulous.
We had a lot of media, a lot of family members. My daughter was there, a couple of Congress people, Nathan Fletcher. So we had actually lots of media there. But most important, my family. And, I was able to come home with my daughter. And for the first time, I didn't have to tell her goodbye or home together. So it was great.
In all of your life moments, how does that compare to any of the other most fabulous days of your life?
Wow, it's one of the most important days of my life because it changed everything in my life as far as being with my family, being able to change my economic situation, health situation, I the VA, and just being able to be with my daughter. So probably one of the most proudest and happiest moments.
So you were deported and you were living in Tijuana, and you started the Deported Veterans House to help veterans who were deported from the United States. You left Tijuana to come to the United States. How was it saying goodbye to people, especially other deported veterans who were not as lucky as you to become a U.S. citizen? Was there a little guilt?
Sure, it was difficult because I lived this for a very long time, and just seeing their faces, there's also sadness, but also their joy. But I'm actually in Tijuana more than I am at home at the moment. So I'm still continuing my work and my dedication to the veterans and the support out still there.
So when you first came to the United States, you headed to Los Angeles to be with your daughter, who you really didn't really know well. Have you gotten to know her better now?
It's been a slow process because I really haven't raised her, but they're at those weird years, teenage years, where they're on their own world.
Right.
So I just have to deal with that and just be okay with it. And instead of worrying about what role I am as a father, I need to build a relationship, which is kind of what I'm working on.
That's a pretty smart attitude to have. So how was coming to the United States? Were there celebrations? Did the United States look different to you than it did 10 years before?
It was from the celebration at the federal building. We had a family celebration at home, and then we had a welcome home the next day with the congresswoman here locally and some local supervisors and from the city of Compton. And then it's just been a lot of getting reintegrated into the VA and getting my life back. So I think the toughest part has been just the relationships that I've kind of lost out on the lost time.
Sure.
But I'm catching up on that.
Last time we spoke, you said you wanted to go to Taco Bell. I assume you've been there multiple times now. Is that correct?
Yes, I
am. And did you get a chance to register to vote?
Yes, I voted for, as soon as I came across, I voted, I think it was the midterm.
Yes, in November.
Or the midterms were the last ones, but I voted twice already.
Wow, congratulations. How'd that feel to vote after being deported?
It was, able to finally cast my vote and do what most citizens, I think, should do, and go out there and vote and be part of the democratic process.
So you're now back in Tijuana, is that correct? You went back to continue to work for the Deported Veterans House. How long did you spend in the States, and how long do you plan on staying back in Tijuana?
So I was actually I was there maybe for like a week in LA, and then I went back to Tijuana, and I've just been going back and forth. I just came from Tijuana a couple hours ago, and I'll be here tonight, and I'll go back in the morning and be in TJ, and then we're going to Costa Rica to visit one of our first female deported veterans that we're going to be working.
How is the transition of now figuring out how to start your life in California? I know from our last conversation, you're not going to just leave the Deported Veterans House cold turkey. That's going to be some sort of transition over the year. But I assume eventually you're going to want to transition into living in the United States, or is that not correct?
One of the stressors of not being home as much and just figuring out what I'm going to do next, because I'm still tied in with the support house. I'm looking into maybe going back to school, or I could just go straight into the work field. But I want to make sure that we leave a structure and a good organization in place, or I might continue to do this work as well. So and do
fantastic work,
part-time work, and who knows?
It's fantastic work. Yeah. Now you have dedicated at least the last decade of your life, and maybe, as you said, maybe indefinitely moving forward, to deported veterans, not only living in Mexico, but all over the world. And now I understand that you expanded your service and you're assisting deported veterans in helping them to apply for benefits that they didn't know that they were entitled to. What kind of benefits would deported veterans be entitled to?
Veterans are still eligible for their GI benefits. Unfortunately, they can't use them in the United States, but they could go around that by going online and taking the online universities like Phoenix University. They also are entitled to a non-service connected pension, which is a little bit over $1,000 a month, and then service connected disabilities, which has medical, and it could range anywhere from $140 to $2,000 a month. So there are certain VA benefits that the men are entitled to.
And the government will send it to them to any bank anywhere in the world?
Sure, they will send their direct deposit anywhere in the world. They have a bank, and through the foreign medical program, they can receive certain treatment or VA healthcare through outside providers that the VA allows for them to get seen by.
Now, I find that really interesting because I know, for example, in my practice, I know Social Security, if you're a deported alien, whether you're a veteran or not a veteran, you're not entitled to Social Security benefits. But it's interesting that you're still entitled to veterans benefits.
Yes, so the veterans, a lot of the guys that are over 65, the Vietnam vets, they lose their Social Security, but then we help them with the Vietnam era pension. Also, oddly enough, I've seen people get their, like if they work with the union, they've been able to get their checks as well. So
like
there's
pensions.
little things that they
pensions.
Yeah, exactly.
And they don't know how to go about it, and your organization helps them do all of that.
Exactly, that's part of it.
How does your organization support itself? You're not taking parts of their pension, or I guess it's all through donations.
I wish
right? Yeah, right. But how are you supporting yourself? This organization supporting itself day after day after day.
Sure. So we get donors that donate money, and then we've been able to get a grant here and there. And every now and then, some of the guys do get their money, and they'll donate $100. Maybe a one-time donation.
Right.
But yeah, it'd be nice if they could donate.
So why didn't these guys apply for their benefits while they were in the United States?
Like any veteran, a lot of us don't know that you are eligible for certain VA benefits, and you wait 10 years later, or maybe you're not informed of the process, or that there is a process to get not just your medical benefits, but also to get like an economic support from the VA. Now,
you said that, for example, they're entitled to go to university and get an education. They would have to do it online. And you also mentioned medical benefits. How do they take advantage of medical benefits if they can't get to a VA facility in the United States of America?
So basically, there's a program called the Foreign Medical Program. There's a lot of veterans that live abroad, and basically the VA has outsourced or has this program so that if you live in the Philippines or Costa Rica, whether you're deported or not, if you're service connected for a certain disability, the VA will reimburse you or pay for those doctors only for that disability. So not for, in general, in the U.S. you could get seen for anything, but outside of the U.S. it has to be for the disability that the VA has given you.
So it would work similar to like a private health insurance, that you would go to the doctor and then you would submit the bill to the VA and get reimbursed, and you're helping them get reimbursed. Now, you're not only doing this in Mexico, you're doing this all over the world. You said earlier you're going to Costa Rica. Have you been to other places as well to help people?
We've gone to Dominican Republic and Haiti. We're planning a big trip to Jamaica in August, hopefully. Costa Rica and maybe Panama while we're there. And we do help other veterans apply for VA benefits from different countries.
How many people have you think you've helped? How many deported veterans are out there that you guys have helped?
Sure, I think we're doing the VA pensions and stuff. There's over about 90 guys getting their benefits at the moment, and over a dozen that are in some kind of process, and as well as a legal process as well. We've housed over 40-something guys, and so we've done quite a bit of work.
Are there any stories that stick out where you've really helped somebody get their benefits that was either down on their luck or didn't know? Or
Sure, a lot of the Vietnam vets that lose their Social Security and they have no type of income or help or support from their families, and basically they go from $30 a month to $1,000-something a month, and in Mexico that's a huge. That's a really good money. You can't do much with it in the United States,
right?
In other parts of the world, it's really good.
Yeah, because the dollar goes a lot further, especially in a third world country.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if somebody doesn't, can't reach you, for example, or, it doesn't have access to the Deported Veterans House, where would somebody who is a veteran go online? Is there a website to go online that people can apply for their benefits, whether they were deported or not?
Sure, they would have to go to the VA website, download some forms, but they have to find a Veterans Service Officer to help them apply for their VA benefits, and that takes a little bit of work. But they can also download the forms and fill them out themselves and send them into the VA, which, if you're don't know how to do them, and that takes a little bit of homework as well. But, it can be done by an individual.
Hector, you say you're going to do this for a year, but I have a feeling it's going to be a lot longer than a year. I think you're going to have a hard time stopping this cold turkey and not helping people. You do such a wonderful job of it. What do you think?
Thank you. I love doing work. There's some headaches every now and then, but it's worth it.
So where can people find out more about the Deported Veteran Support House?
Sure, they can go to our website, which I see up on the screen. They can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, and we're doing pretty good on Instagram. So just reach out to us, and we can see how we can help you out. And
Hector, I always ask this of you. This will be the third time I ask you, and maybe your dream has changed. Tell us what your American dream is. Has it changed at all, or is it still the same dream?
My American dream is pretty much, I already have my family back, but I do want to have a nice house and a decent job and just be able to live that American dream where you can have those kind of things. I think that's for most of us. It'd be nice to have a great career and all that, but just a nice home and a nice job is fine with my family.
Hector, thank you for coming on. He was a deported veteran. He served in the military honorably. He grew up as a child in the United States for most of his childhood. He was deported not once but twice from the United States. Never thought he'd ever come back. And he's now a U.S. citizen, and he's helping other deported veterans as well. Congratulations. It's a fantastic, fantastic job that you're doing. And thanks for coming on.
Thank you. You guys have a great day.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to get Hector's goatee going, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, that would be nice.
I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe. I was thinking about it. Just shave around here.
Wait. Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
And then here a little.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, try a goatee.
What do you think?
That would be a nice little look. A different look.
A nice little look.
I think it'd be a different look. I like it.
Maybe.
I don't think I'm team goatee.
You're not team goatee.
I think you should do it.
Every woman says no and every man says yes. It's amazing.
I think you should.
Yeah.
What are they saying?
I would say most women say no.
Ladies and fellas, what do you guys think? Do you think Brad should do a goatee or what? I think so.
Do you guys really think Brad should do a goatee? Really?
I do.
No. I am a clean-shaven Brad fan. I have been a clean-shaven Brad fan.
You've seen the rough Brad. You haven't seen the actual manicured.
So I know guys who, when they shave their facial hair into weird stuff to see how it'll look as they're shaving. You know what I mean? Like, they know they're not going to keep it, but it's like, what's just a mustache look like?
That.
Do you do that? And have you ever done it with a goatee?
Kim, let's go to comments of the day. All right. And I said all the women would say no.
They said Carol Anderson the Tiger, who said, yeah, do it, Brad.
Right.
So she's on your team.
And Willie Williams says no, and he's a man.
But Lolita Platt said yes.
Okay.
It's really split.
Very split. All right.
Okay, our first comment of the day is from Sherry Williams, who said, I won't lie, I love you guys like a nice Caribbean dish.
Ooh.
Right?
I thought you were going to say Caribbean drink.
Ah.
Even better.
Could be.
I thought you were going to say Caribbean man.
Okay.
Nice stiff drink with rum.
Yeah. Hey.
Right.
There we go.
Emphasis on the stiff, right?
Right.
It's almost hump day, folks.
Right. Calm down.
Calm down. Calm down. Yes.
All right. Our second one comes from Carol, the Top Cat Tigress, the 2 Anderson on YouTube, saying, what people don't understand is that using a lawyer is so important in getting your status. Everyone, call Brad. You're looking at one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right. We've got another one from Carlton. This is really messing me up. Who said, good evening, Brad Squad. Brad, you are a good, serious, and straightforward lawyer. Straightforward. Good.
Is that how you do 3?
What was the 3?
I can only do 3 this way.
Why?
I can't put
We have talked about this.
Yes.
Wait, why?
Because I can't do this.
I don't understand that.
Your hand looks like a little kid when you do this.
This way.
How about this?
A-okay. I can do that.
All right. Our third one comes. Is this our third or fourth? Fourth one comes from Christine Bennett. These veterans were good enough to fight for the country, but not good enough to live in the country. Wow. That's talking about your friend, Hector.
The wonderful
That is
Hector.
very true. It's sad.
It's a great.
Sad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sad.
Sad. And finally, we've got Don Harriet, who said, we are all in a situation one way or another. You are not alone.
Oh, yes. This is so
Great
true.
reminder.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, we have to say goodnight, au revoir, adieu. But tomorrow is hump day. So be ready. We'll be ready at 5:30. We'll see you all tomorrow for hump day. Take care. So Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.